The only problem here is this thing in front of me. That's okay. I'm gonna put up with it. It's just such a beautiful road. Blue Ridge Parkway, if you've not ridden it, you're missing out. In a car, sure, it's fine, but on a motorcycle, that is the way to travel on the Blue Ridge. So this, friends and neighbors, this is 226A. When you see that sign, that's a good sign. So this is the road to Little Switzerland. Now 226 gets you there. 226A gets you there in style. A lot more curves and beautiful historic home right there. Just kind of random. Bam. Nice. Anyway, 226A, I was once told by a waitress at a coffee shop in a Little Switzerland that no baby, 226A, that's too curvy for motorcyclists, you won't like it. Oh, okay, great, thanks for that tip. So I'll check in a little bit later when we're in some of the more ridiculous curves, but it's a great little road. Day 2 of the North America Motorcycle Tour. I can hardly wait to ride the Kangamangas Highway in New Hampshire, and looking forward to being in Boston and Long Island and all that jazz. So anyway, in the meantime, I'm riding some familiar roads. Beautiful mountains in the background. Great day. So at the top of 226A is the little town of Little Switzerland. Kind of redundant to say little town of Little Switzerland, but it is a tiny, tiny hamlet up here. Probably a full-time population of 500 or so, maybe 400. But there are a couple of great restaurants up here, 3 great places to stay, all kind of designed around motorcycling. And 2 of the places to stay are very, very European. Today I'm going to stop in the Little Switzerland Inn and have lunch. It is an absolute gorgeous little spot. Now if you're just in the mood for coffee, there's a coffee shop and bookstore in a Little Switzerland also. But Big Lynn Lodge is also in Little Switzerland. Big Lynn Lodge is a nice little motel to stay in. They've got little cottages set up. They're mostly duplex cottages. So if you're traveling with another couple, or another person, and they want their own room, that's a great way to share the experience. You're sharing a building, but not having to share a bathroom or anything else. Anyway, so this is downtown Little Switzerland, sort of in earnest. This is where the coffee shop is, popular with motorcyclists. You can see everybody, and there's the general store, the Switzerland Cafe. That's the place I was telling you. It's great for a cup of coffee. But just up here is Switzerland Inn, which I would say is the place to have lunch. Always. And I'll show you why here in just a second. But you can see the architecture. It's all very European-esque, designed to look like Bavaria, I guess. they all found out about it, but the Little Switzerland Inn is covered with motorcyclists of all stripes and sizes. Apparently Harley Davidson is having some kind of big ride-in, but it's really pretty cool. The scenery here is great. It does look a lot like Switzerland. I'm gonna pan the camera around, hopefully without killing you. So be patient as I spin you around a little bit. Don't get sick, kids. Really good restaurant up here. Very tasty. Great view of the mountains down there. It's got almost a park atmosphere up here. It's really pretty. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what it's like up here. But this is the Little Switzerland Inn. Well, it's the Switzerland Inn. The Lenco Viaduct was made in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe. And it is one of the most picturesque bridges you would ever run into. Instead of building a road on the surface of the side of the mountain, because there were all these rock outcroppings and things like that, they came up with the idea of building a viaduct over all the rocks. And so there's less impact. Hey, bicycle guy. There's less impact on the road, on the mountain, because the road doesn't touch it. So this, I believe, is the Lenco Viaduct. And this is what it's like to drive over. It's like you're flying up in the hills. But absolutely beautiful little piece of roadway. Now, if you've seen the cover of book 2, my second book, you'll recognize that view-ish. The photographer had to climb up to the top of that rock right there and take a photo early in the morning to get the picture of the Lenco Viaduct with the proper light and all that jazz. So that meant that a few of us were out here early in the morning. But just looking up at the mountain up there, beautiful rock faces. It's not a full bald, I don't think, but it sure is pretty. And this is a very pretty part of the Blue Ridge Parkway. One of the many views along the Blue Ridge Parkway are walls like that. Back in the 30s, when they were building this road as part of the recovery effort from the Great Depression, they just carved into those things with hand tools and explosives. Turned out to be a beautiful road, but woo! And great scenery. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know how far the GoPro picks it up in the distance, but it's really nice. Beautiful day today. I welcome the overcast. Well, I had a little bit of weather back there. Thunderstorm came through Fancy Gap just while I was stopped getting fuel, but that means I put on the rest of my gear. I've got pretty good rain pants. This rain pant is made by First Gear, but then well, and it's not just a rain pant. It's a riding pant. Oh shit! It's a freaking turkey. What's up? Turkey lurkey. Anyway, so my riding pants are made by First Gear, and they're really good. They've got some padding in the hips and knees, and it seals around the ankles in a really great waterproof gusset. And they're kind of bib. They're not quite overalls, but they've got suspenders with them. And I did not get wet at all. Now my jacket is a Raiden It's a, I can't remember what model, but it's a really good jacket. The only complaint I've got is the neck on this is, I guess I'm supposed to keep my head tilted back the whole time. Anyway, well, as you can see from the lack of sunshine, there is plenty of cloud cover. It's only 6 p.m. Sun should still be crazy up, but it is not. Anyway, so that's the news from the home front. I just stopped at an overlook and talked to a couple of riders that were coming south, and we were looking north at that stuff, and it looks like there is some more rain ahead of me tonight, but I'm gonna give it 2 hours. I'll get to Roanoke and probably call it quits there. Anyway, maybe the rain has pushed east, who knows. But regardless, I'm okay in rain. My boots are waterproof, my outfit is waterproof. My gloves, these are actually waterproof riding gloves. Very handy. The only thing on me that got wet, oddly, in that heavy thunderstorm while I was riding was my beard. And it doesn't stick out of the bottom of my helmet. It just, I don't know, for whatever reason, I guess air rushed up underneath it. So, anyway, enough of that.
Hey riders, thanks very much for watching that video in its entirety. If you would, click over here on the subscribe button, and then the button just to the right of it, that is the bell button, and if you press that, that lets YouTube know that you want to know what I've been up to on this particular channel. So every time I post something new, they'll alert you, and that's cool. Because if I'm just doing this for me, I'm not going to be doing this. So please subscribe, be aware, know what's going on. Also below, you're going to find my channels to my social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that shizzle bedrizzle. You can sign up for those too. Stay alert, stay aware of what's going on. Also, I'm going to share the link to MotoHawk.com. That's where you can go to make me be your ride guide to the Southeast United States. If you're traveling in North Georgia, East Tennessee, Western North Carolina, Virginia, or West Virginia on 2 wheels, let me help you out. I've got 3 great books. They're available on the website, and there's some other cool information to share on the website too. All right, I hope that you really enjoyed the video. Be safe, ride smart, but have a great time.